Hello, 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 and welcome. I am Chelsealia Cookie Payne, founder of Pain and Glory Incorporated, and your host for this particular segment of Pain and Abuse Mental Health and Ministry, our Monday night Facebook Live broadcast. And tonight I'm super excited to be with you guys. I hope that this week, this beginning of November has been awesome for you. I know it started out a little challenging, but I'm hoping that you guys are doing some things that are helping you to embrace your self-care, to do some things that take you away from social media and the media at hand, and just enjoy just decompressing. That's kind of what I'm talking about tonight. Tonight, I'm talking about how we are going to declutter our minds, effective ways to declutter our minds and embrace peace. Because listen, if there's one thing that we need in our personal lives, if there's one thing that we can embrace right now, it is definitely peace. So I'm just going to go over some really quick things. Listen, if you haven't had the opportunity, I invite you to go to our website, www.painandglory.com, as well as mentalhealthandministry.com. I invite you there. If you haven't grabbed a copy of the book, There's No Health Without Mental Health, where I am one of the featured authors in that best-selling book. I'm very excited about that. I encourage you to pick it up on our website, painandglory.com. Be sure to grab your copy. And just you'll get a glimpse of my story, just kind of hear a little bit, or read, I guess, a little bit about my journey, my story. But tonight we're talking about decluttering. I'm going to give you some effective ways to declutter your mind and embrace peace. So let me just get started. So just let's just talk about it for a minute. Decluttering our mind and enjoying some inner peace, embracing some inner peace. So we need it. We need it. So let me just kind of give you some tips. So nobody is just walking around that I know of. I put it mine is 24 hours a day at peace. 24 hours a day, everything is clear and peaceful. Everything is, and if that's you, I applaud you 100%. But for most of us, sometimes there's so much going on. We've got to declutter. We've got to, get our minds, get everything back into perspective. And too often we find ourselves putting too many burdens on our minds. We take in so much. We're on social media, or we're looking at TV, and we're looking at different news broadcasts, and we're in the midst of a global pandemic. There's racial injustice. There's so much going on, and it's like a hodgepodge of things. And there's a more effective way to live than just being overwhelmed. So here are just a few simple hacks. Let's call them hacks that you can do to reduce your load on your mind and give it the peace it craves. Like your mind, your spirit, your body craves peace. So here are just a few simple techniques that we're going to be talking about tonight during our Pain and Abuse Mental Health and Ministry segment. So number one, remove the challenging people from your life. Now, this is not as harsh as what it sounds like. When I say remove the challenging people from your life, I'm not saying cut people off and just nope, not talking to you. No, not necessarily what I mean. But sometimes we become attached to people we are not even engaged with. And here's what I mean by that. Some of us have become attached to people we don't even know, whether it's via social media, whether it is, looking at the political scene. And we have the challenge now of removing those people from our lives. We have the challenge of stepping back and say, you know what? I'm not involved in this. I don't have to take this on. I don't have to receive this. Now, on the other hand, there are some people in your life that are probably, if you're in a space where you are feeling that you're being overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you're being manipulated, if you feel like, especially if you feel like you're in an abusive situation, then by all means, 100%, I'm definitely speaking to you. That is a situation to remove yourself from. But there are some people in your life that are optional. There are some people, who are only there as opportunists, or there are certain people who are only there, like the example I gave a moment ago, that you're not even connected to, but somehow you have latched onto them, or they've latched onto you, virtually or in reality. Remove the challenging people from your life. Be willing to let go of people that take more effort and time than they're worth to you. And that sounds harsh, but think about it. Think about the people that you are following on social media, and you're so drawn into their story. You don't even know these people, and you feel so sorry. They come on with their doom and gloom stories of how nobody supports them, or how no one, is whatever. I don't know, people's stories. But anyway, and you get so pulled into that, you don't even know them. You don't know the backstory, and now you're carrying the burden of someone else, and you don't even know the full story. And now you're up at night. You're, sending messages or wondering about someone you don't even know. It's a lot of clutter to deal with. Number two, remove unnecessary activities from your life. There's one thing to be busy, and it's another thing to be productive. What are you doing that is causing you to be busy doing stuff? Just doing. But is it a necessary activity? Are you doing something that is bettering yourself? Are you on committees and serving on in groups and serving on different things that don't really serve you, but you're on them because somebody asked you to, or you didn't quite know how to say no, or because you are out of loyalty? Loyalty has a lot of people stressed out. That word loyalty has a lot of people just overwhelmed. Remove some unnecessary activities from your life. Go through the inventory of the things that you are doing, that are consuming your time, and see what that needs to be trimmed. We're talking about decluttering, right? Number three, declutter your environment. Your mind and your inner peace are affected by your environment. This includes your home, your workspace, and for many of us, that kind of it has a dual role, for those of you who are working from home during this pandemic, and anywhere, but those of you who work outside the home, your workplace, and anywhere else you feel you find yourself spending a significant amount of time. Have you ever noticed how nice it feels when your house is so clean? You can feel that way all the time. Declutter your environment. Go through, I did this earlier this year, cleaned out my closet. Like, got rid of stuff, got rid of a lot of stuff, really. Bags and bags. Just because it's there doesn't mean it has to be. Rearrange some things, get rid of some things. Declutter. You know that feeling when everything is in its place? You can have that. Meditate or pray. This is, I'm telling you, your quiet time with God, your prayer time, your time to communicate with God and get in a place and a space where you can hear from Him and He can hear from you, because this is a communication thing. Get in a place where you can write out your prayer. If you have a prayer journal, if you don't have one, get one. Write out your prayers. Write out, if you're one who likes to write down, your dreams and goals. Write them out and tell God about them. Write out your fears. Write out your problems. Write out your prayers. Meditate and pray, and have some time where you can really like declutter that mind, right? It's important. Number five, write things down. Journaling is important, but not just journaling, like literally write things down. Trying to remember things puts a huge load on your mind. If you have sticky notes around, Write things down. You're trying to hold everything in. I'll remember to get to that. I'll remember. And now you put so much weight on yourself of trying to remember everything. Just write it down. Just write it down. You can never truly relax when you have to remember to do something. What did I forget to do? What was I supposed to be doing? What did I no, just write it down. And then by writing it down, you help to squash all those alarms. Okay, you got a checklist. I said, at this time, I was going to do this, and this. Write it down. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to remember everything. Write it down. Number 6 is monotask. We have become experts at multitasking. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm one that does multitask. But listen, take some time out, carve some time out to monotask. Take one thing and work on that and be as effective on that one thing as you possibly can. Shut out everything else. Take Do it for one day. So for some of you, it may be 1 hour. I get it. But as long as you can, but try one day that you focus on one thing, not trying to juggle everything. Now I understand in certain households and certain situations you have to multitask. I get it. But if there's a project, if there's something that needs to be completed, that you can focus your attention on that one thing, and everything else can be put to the side. Setting not inclusive of raising your family, but a project or something that you can work on that one thing and focus on that one thing, monotasking that thing. Try it. Try it. Try it. Number 7. Hold on to your seatbelts for this one. Make fewer decisions. Yeah, you heard me. Make fewer decisions. The fewer decisions you have to make each day, the more inner peace you'll have. The fewer decisions you have to make each day, the more inner peace you'll feel. For example, limiting your wardrobe makes it easier to figure out what to wear each day. If you're just overwhelmed, what am I going to wear today? What am I going to do? Just pick out one outfit for the following day and go to bed. Just pick. Don't be overwhelmed with little things. You can eat the same healthy breakfast every morning. Just try that. You don't have to figure out what am I going to eat for breakfast today and what am I going to eat tomorrow. Look for ways to minimize the number of decisions you have to make. I know that sounds simplistic. What I said about the breakfast, what I said about picking out what you're going to wear. It seems simplistic, but think about how many times you do it. Think about how many times you do it. You think about, especially if you work from home, you may not even consider how much you think about what you're going to wear or what you're going to put on for that day, whether it's going to be a jogger or some yoga pants or whatever it is, and if you work outside the home, listen, pick out what you're going to wear the night before. Let that be that. Don't overcrowd your mind with all these. I was going to say frivolous, but all these decisions that don't need to take up so much of your time and energy, right? Number 8, get enough sleep. I can't stress that enough. Notice how cluttered your mind feels when you don't get a good night's sleep, when you don't get enough sleep. When you wake up and you know you're still tired and you're drudging through your day and you have like the little fog and we talked about earlier trying to remember everything you're supposed to do and everything you said you were going to do, get some sleep. Go to bed a little earlier. Set a reminder on your clock, on your phone, set a reminder that at this time I'm going to bed. I don't care what's on. I don't care what else needs to be done. I'm going to bed at XYZ time. Allow yourself the grace to get some sleep. You're not getting enough sleep. Your body doesn't have enough time to recuperate and regain its strength from the day's work, the week's stresses, the month's overwhelming situations. So now here you are, sleepless, tired, frustrated, and weary. Set some time aside and get some sleep. And number 9, limit your exposure to the news and social media. I started with this and I'm closing with this one. The news and social media can drive you literally bonkers. I mean, really, especially now. You all know it. We're living in a time right now, especially these last several days. Well, I said especially last several days, but last several days have compounded in the last several months, right? And it's a lot. Sometimes it's too much. It's too much. Social media and the news is too much. And sometimes for many of us, it's consuming. It's too much. It's important to stay aware of what's happening in the world. Not saying that's not true, but you don't have to bombard yourself. Excuse me. You don't have to bombard yourself with negative information day and night. As long as we have a cell phone near us, as long as we have a device near us, as long as we have, something that we can get information from, we're right in front of it, or we have it right in front of us. Listen, that's too much. You've heard the term information overload. That's too much. Limit your exposure. And notice I used the word exposure. Limit your exposure to news and social media. We're talking about decluttering our minds and embracing peace. Listen, this is paramount. This is paramount. Listen, treat your mind like you would an injury to a body part. You will reduce the amount of work it has to do in order to treat it gently. If you hurt your arm, you have it in a sling. If your arm is wounded, listen, you're not going to be out here just willy-nilly doing things with your arm. You're going to reduce the amount of stress that you put on that arm until it fully heals. Most of us ask our minds to do more than it was designed to do. Give your mind a break and gain the peace that it craves. Listen, I just want to share with you real quick those tips of how to declutter. We got to do it. We got to do it. If no other time is necessary, now is the time. Now is necessary. There's too much. There's a lot going on. Like I said, I'm not saying that you have to disconnect yourself from the world. You don't have to keep up with what's going on in the world. I'm not saying all of that. But what I am saying is sometimes you gotta disconnect. You've gotta declutter. You've got to declutter your mind. You've got to put some things aside that are important to you. I talked about getting proper sleep. I talked about detaching yourself from certain people. And like I said, when I say that, it's not always people that you know. It's people that you virtually know. It's people that you don't even have a relationship with, so to speak, but because you've seen them on social media, you just picked up, extra baggage, and you're following them, and they're talking about what's going on in their life, and it's overwhelming you. Come on. And as I said, if it's a person that you have a personal relationship with, and you're finding that they are more of a drain than they are a fountain, that they're taking from you more than they're pouring in, reassess, declutter. Important. So listen, guys, I'm so appreciative that you spent this time with me on this wonderful Monday night. Again, every Monday night, 7:00 p.m., you'll see that we have our Pain and Abuse Mental Health and Ministry Facebook Live broadcast coming up next Monday. We have a special guest that's going to be coming on. Bree Gordon is going to be with us on next Monday night. I promise you, she is an author. She is a speaker. She is going to listen. You'll see more about that. It's going to be great. We're also going to have Pastor Shonda Smith is going to be on later on in the month. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I don't want you to miss out. I don't want you to miss out. So be a part of it. Listen, again, I'm Chelsea Cookie Payne, founder of Pain and Glory Incorporated and the administrator of this particular segment, Pain in the Pews, Mental Health and Ministry. Remember, these were some essential steps, so effective ways for you to declutter your mind and embrace peace. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Love you guys.